That is the sickest shit. I could just listen to Freddy Greddy all day, but it's time to learn to up my game.
Oh, you can do that at PvP school, where you learn to up your game.
Welcome, guys.
Subtlety.
So we're going to talk about... Subtle plug.
It's not just a rogue spec.
Oh!
See what I did there? Oh!
I see what you did there. Alright, let's talk about keybindings. Okay. Probably one of the most important things in Warcraft is keybindings.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
When you first start out, like everybody does, when you're learning the game, if you're running clicks, you just click whatever your moves are in your action
hit
bar.
A few binds,
exactly.
click a few things.
And of course, your moves are in the order that you learned them when you leveled up.
Yeah.
Because why would you put them anywhere else? This just makes sense.
That's where they go. The Arcane Shot is number 6, and that's where it's going to stay.
But you start to realize that if you reorganize things in a much more mechanical fashion, you can play much, much more efficiently.
Yeah.
Keybindings are hard to get started with. They're hard to get used to. It took me like years of playing to really understand.
It's not something that really is set in stone.
Exactly.
Because, you know, you're going to hit expansions and stuff like that, and sometimes they change up the game, and you get new moves and all kinds of stuff, and you need to switch them anyway, so you're never going to get 100% used to them, but...
It's a process. It's not just like, this is how you do it, and you're done. No, you have to work on it.
And there's no real black and white formula to it. So we just kind of give you a guideline on how to structure it, you know, importantly. Because, you know, like, say even for instance, my keybindings make sense to me. Yeah. You know, but they're not going to make sense to you. If I was, you'd be like, what the hell is that doing there? You know, it should be somewhere over on this key, and it should be bound. You have I use, you know, stuff like Shift 1 and stuff like that. You might use like Shift E and F and all that stuff, and it's different to everybody. You know, it's based on hand size. You know.
So that's the thing, is it's going to be different for everyone. I can't tell you what to use and how to use it, but I can tell you how to form your own. Yeah. So
you definitely, I mean, the first thing you want to do is you want to have your moves in reach.
Exactly.
You know, it's learn to move with your mouse. It helps.
For sure. You don't want to...
Definitely.
Yeah, it's number one is you don't want a keyboard turn. Yeah. You want to get that shit off there. Maybe change A and D to strafing.
Some people, you know, you can play okay doing it, but...
When you turn with the mouse, you're going to be so much faster, so much more efficient. Everything's going to be so much better.
Especially because if you turn with just your keyboard, you can only turn so sharp.
Fast,
you know, so, you know, you can't do that 90-degree around a pillar or around a corner.
Or while jumping. You know, while jumping. The spin jump to, like...
Yeah, you know, if you play like a hunter or a range or even anything, you don't want to lose that forward speed, but you want to turn around and use a front-facing ability. It's great to be able to do. That's a little more advanced, but
so
you know,
the name of the game is start slow. Start by just, you know, your regular, like the game is already set up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, that's fine. So you want to put basically, I mean, the way I do it. So I put the moves that I'm going to be using most often, my main DPS rotation, on those right there. It's right above your movement keys. It's right there, easy to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my main rotation. And you
don't really want to use the movement keys for moving forward, really. That's all the mouse. You want to use just for when you strafe.
Exactly.
Some people don't even do that, but
or you just use an auto run or something.
Yeah, an auto run. Even if you know, I just keep
like
both
for instance,
mouse buttons.
I'm used to. I have V as my auto run. It's probably not the most efficient. I could probably put V on something else, but
like
it's just the way I'm used to it.
I have V for move.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I have it for an ability.
Whatever works, whatever makes sense in your own mind is what really it comes down to.
Yeah.
So start out slow. Start with just a couple keybindings. Maybe add, you know, a bubble to something. Like use the Q and E keys, the R key.
Definitely.
You want to start adding on like one key at a time. Get used to what you're playing with. Go do a couple BGs. Go do some whatever you do.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I would say is when I first started to use keybinds, I didn't really have anyone to tell me, you know, what to do with it. And then, you know, I have people like, you can use a shift in this. And it like blew my mind. Or you can use like things like you don't need, like C, it opens your character page, which you can do by a click.
Yeah, you don't need that.
You're never going to do it in combat, so why don't you utilize that for something?
I made
C
awesome. my Cloak of Shadows because it just makes sense in my head.
Yeah, use it for I use C, I use X, Z.
X is
those can all be binds. It's
Z
right under where you move. Your hand's right there. You can use that stuff, and with key bindings. What we're really only going to say is things that can be applied to every person. So, you know, number one, you want to be able to reach the key, obviously, because it's say for instance, I have a small hand, and I really can't reach the Y.
I have really big hands.
I can't reach that. Yeah, I can't get up to that Y. So
the Y is my mount.
I could probably practice jumping to it, but then I usually end up losing my hand placement. So I don't bind Y so much. I do
my fingers are much bigger. I'm able to reach like T is my like deadly throw, all this kind of stuff. Like
yeah.
G.
So I mean, it's use what's comfortable.
The end goal is to have every single thing you ever do in this game somewhere on your keyboard. You never want to click
you can reach
anything.
Easily.
Even eating food, even mounting up, everything. Even using a lock rock. You want to have everything somewhere on your keys so you never have to take your focus off of moving with your mouse.
Yeah, and it raises the question, how can I fit that all in an area where I can hit all the keys? And then, that's where the shift comes in. Yeah. You have control you can use. Like, I'll just give you a quick rundown. I have, like, all my heals on my shaman. The main heals that I use, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there.
Yeah.
I have my big cooldowns that, I learned quickly that if I have, like say I was on my paladin, I'm in a battleground, I want to use my lay on hands, I have it on my G key, which is right next to my F key, which is my interrupt, and I would be like, oh, I'm going to interrupt something and lay on hands myself. And that's kind of stupid. I mean, you can't use stuff like that in Arena, but, things like if I'm on my Resto Shaman, Bubble would be a good one, Healing Tide Totem, Mana Tide Totem, I put those on a shift key. Shift 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Things that are long cooldowns that are really important that you don't want to fudge up, like Ice Block. For a long time I had that on F, and I would accidentally hit it every once in a while.
All the time, and then you're screwed.
Sucks, it screws you. So really important things you might want to have on like a Shift F, Shift
Control and the thing is, it's like they're important, but a Shift 1, 2, and 3, and 4, very easy to reach. I can get to it very quick. Within a split second, if I'm going to go down, Shift 1 is just as fast as, hitting the one key. It's just something you have to practice, get used to. That's where the mechanics
something you have to work out on your own.
Too.
So like, build it up on your own. Start simple with just a couple. Get used to it. Then add another key here. Add another key there. Add all your macros on the Keybindings.
You can use the E. You can use the Q.
Yeah, just really quick. I'll run down mine. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have like my regular moves. I have Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mostly for focus moves that'll use the same move but on the focus target. I have Q, E, R, T. I have F, G, Z, X, V, C. And all of those, I have Shift in all of those too. Is another move to use.
Obviously, you can use the F.
The function keys, I have F1 through F5 is another set of moves.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what's on everything because that would take me forever. But
and some people even they move their movement keys like down or to the right, and they can use like all like binds on both sides. You can do that if you want.
Oh, I also took backpedal off. Like you never really want to backpedal if just turning around with your mouse and moving the opposite direction will be much faster than backing up that way, because backing up you're going to be moving slow.
Yeah.
So I put my S key as another key bind.
As another bind. So I mean, it's where your comfort lies, but the basic thing is you want to be able to get to everything.
Yeah.
You don't want to put things. I mean, if you really have the control and you're like, I'm never going to hit my bubble by accident, good for you. Put it on the C key or whatever. Put it on an E. But it's just what I do from my experience.
So that's what a lot of people do, like you said, is change the movement keys. Like you only really need 3. You need move forward and then strafe left and right. Yeah. So for that, I use W, A, and D. Because it's only those 3, a lot of people move it down to like X, Z, and C as strafe left, strafe right, and forward. And then you open up kind of the whole area above those keys to be free to put key bindings on.
Yeah, exactly.
Another huge point for WoW specifically, is
since that's what we're talking about.
Well, key bindings matter in almost every game you play on the computer.
Absolutely.
What makes a humongous difference for us is having a mouse that has side buttons. I don't know if I can pull this out so you guys can see here. This is the Razer Naga Hex. It's a great mouse. This is actually the same mouse I use. I'm at Greg's house right now. This is his mouse. Having a mouse that has side buttons here opens up an immense number of key bindings. Not only can you have these 6 buttons be key bindings, but then Shift those 6 buttons, Control those 6 buttons, Alt those 6 buttons.
You can also use those buttons for like your F8 through 12 that you can't reach with your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Just put them on the numpad keys, whatever you want.
Yeah, just
this
bind them to
adds
the mouse.
Just these 6 buttons here add like 27 key bindings right there. It takes it off your your regular keyboard, so you can have more important moves there. Like
Also,
I have a lot of my
not
control just right there on my phone.
It just helps.
It helps a lot. Yeah.
I used to bind moves to my mouse. I now really use it more for targeting,
especially
since I have 6 buttons, 3 enemy players.
Another one a lot of people don't think about is your scroll wheel. You never really need to zoom in and out. You kind of want to just stay at max distance anyways. There's never a reason you'd have to zoom right into your character in the middle of an arena.
Yeah.
So take the zoom off the scroll wheel. You can have scroll up, scroll down, middle click, shift, scroll up, scroll down, middle click. There's another, 16 key bindings on the scroll wheel alone.
And I have 2 buttons above that.
Yeah, the 2 buttons above that you can even use. Any buttons on your mouse, you're able to map to anything you need in WoW.
It's not necessary again, but it helps.
Even if you just have a lot of gaming mice have 2 side buttons. Even just those 2, you can add 6, 8 extra moves on that alone. It frees
Somebody out there is going to do the math. It's not going to be us.
I threw out a bunch of numbers.
It's more than 2 though. I tell you, if you have 2 buttons, you can put more than 2 binds on it. That's for sure.
For sure. I lost my train of thought.
If you do it and you figure it out, and you message me. Give me your address. I'll send you a hat. It doesn't matter. That's what, if you're really gonna do it. I don't care. I'll do that. Someone's gonna do the math. You're gonna lay down that effort for a guy you don't even know.
Tweet us. Put it in the comments. Actually, look at the comments below. Somebody's done the math for you.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, that's about it. Once you have every single thing you ever do in this game on your keyboard, you're gonna play so much faster, so much more efficient. You're gonna notice a huge difference. It takes a while to get used to it.
It takes a long time.
It takes weeks. Yeah. But just hop in BGs. BGs don't really matter. You don't care if you win or lose because you're not getting a rating for it.
Even if you go into Battleground and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting marked because I can't do my keybinds, I don't know where anything is. Go into a looking for raid. I hate raiding, but you get in there. It's so easy. You stand there, get a feel for at least your DPS rotation. Or whatever you want to do. You can practice, because nothing's going to happen in a raid anyways if you're, you just practice oh crap, bubble, even if there's nothing there.
Yeah,
get used to it.
Get used to it.
Fool around if you're just I don't want to get owned for, the next 6 hours. You can do that if you want to.
And do it a little bit at a time. Don't try and sit down and map every single move at once. You're just going to screw yourself up.
Yeah.
Especially with how far this game has come and how many moves every character has now.
It's a lot.
Level 90, they add 10 moves every expansion.
It's roughly a lot.
I probably have 100 different keys that I have to hit. With all the shifts, with all the controls, and all the macros.
With macros, that's the big thing.
And adding things like lock rocks or food or potions, even things I don't use in arenas. There's probably about 100 things I have to hit.
Bro, it's up there. It's 20 plus.
Pretty nuts. Without
to be on the safe side,
you're gonna just be so far behind. So work on it, practice it, get used to it, and you're gonna up your game.
PvP school, up your game.
All right. Tweet at us, hit us up, check out the website pvpschool.pro.
We're open to questions all the time.
Oh because, for sure. Yeah. And we'll catch you next time. Oh, sexy music. Peace.